Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Frater Atrius Horace, with lance and grail priory, broadcasting from the hermetic hermitage nestled in the foothills of the Ozark Mountains. Welcome one, welcome all. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you're new, welcome to the channel. Hope you find something you like. Hope you enjoy what I've got to present tonight. Kind of building off on last week's episode. I've got a couple of spirit catalogs and a few books on Solomonic and Grimoire magic, if Grimoire is a word. We're going to look at some new stuff tonight, some old stuff. Next week I've got planning on doing some more Aleister Crowley books, so if you're into that, definitely tune in next week. I'm trying to release videos on Fridays at noon, so if you want to be alerted when a new video drops, make sure you subscribe. Always feel free to comment if you like what you see, or if you don't like what you see. And glad to have you here. And on that note, let's get started. So the first couple of books are relatively new. They are Imprint, and I got these off of Amazon, so if you're interested, they should not be hard to find. Got some little minor bings and dings here from Amazon shipping, but you know that it is what it is. But first up tonight, we've got the Stellas Daemonum, The Orders of Demons by David Crowhurst. The forward by Lonmalo Duquette and Stephen Skinner. I got this on Amazon. There's a couple little dings here on the, I'm going to call it a dust jacket. And I don't know if that's visible. Sorry about that. As usual, I forgot to turn the AC up, and when it kicks on, you can definitely hear it over the video. So pause for a second and give that time to shut off. Let's see here. It's got a blurb by Dr. Stephen Skinner on the back and Frater Acker. Big fan of Frater Acker's work. I'm sure that's totally not going to show up on the camera. If you're interested in Frater Acker's work, stay tuned. I have a find of a lifetime coming up. Probably is not going to be for another good while, but it's in the mail, so just keep an eye out for that. This is I like the snake in the egg here. This was published by Weiser. I like this dust jacket. It's kind of cool. This is some sort of spirit catalog. If you can get a good shot of the table of contents here. You know, one of these days, if my channel really takes off and the money starts rolling in, I'm going to upgrade my microphone and camera, video recording equipment, and do a real professional video for you guys. But I say that a bit tongue in cheek because I don't ever intend to monetize my channel. I don't ever intend to set up a Patreon or ask for donations or money or anything like that. I do this purely as a labor of love and for the occult book collector community to show off books that you may not otherwise know are out there or get a chance to see otherwise, and I like to keep it that way. Definitely not doing this for the money, even though it would go a long way into helping support my book buying habits, believe me. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just wanting to show off cool books to you guys, and I appreciate everyone who takes the time to watch my videos and enjoys what I do and likes to listen to me sit here and talk to myself while I'm doing this. So I appreciate it. I very much appreciate it. Got some tables and charts here. It's a lot less pictures than I imagined. Here we have Crowley's tarot arrangement. The double loop of the zodiac from the Book of Thoth. Again, there's not as many sigils here as I'd imagined. Really not a lot of pictures or artwork at all. I mean, this is a nice thick book. Lots of charts and tables. Not a lot of sigils or images. We're getting up to let's just flip to the end here. About 337, 38 pages. This is a Weiser. I do believe this came out at the end of last year, which is almost a year ago at this point. Remembering off the top of my head, I think this came out in November of 2021. Lots of tables here in the appendixes. Footnotes. Footnotes are always nice. Just a little blurb from the dust jacket here. Stellas Daemonum offers an in-depth analysis of the spirits that appear in several late medieval and early modern grimoires. The book unravels these texts' mythical, etymological, magical, and religious dimensions, and most importantly, draws out their astrological correspondences. Quote, although the precedents for the incorporation of astrology into magical precedents are ancient, writes David Crowhurst, the relationship between them has drifted into precarious position in recent times. Modern astrology often appears to have become segregated from its magical past, while many modes of modern magic neglect the practical application of sophisticated astrological principles. Okay, so this book kind of relates the spirits with astrology. Really love this dust jacket. I love this kind of almost vellum-like cover here. It's, oh, and I didn't notice before, but it does have a ribbon bookmark. Nice book. Just want to double check. Yeah. Published by Weiser 2021. But there you have it, the Stellas Daemonum, the Order of Demons. The second book here is another new book that I acquired from Amazon. currently in print and available if you wish to acquire a copy. Here we have Pandemonium, a discordant concordance of diverse spirit catalogs by the famous Jake Stratton Kent. If you don't know Jake Stratton Kent, he was the author of the True Grimoire, published by Scarlet Imprint. He's the author of the Encyclopedia Goetica. He has authored numerous books on grimoires and Solomonic magic. He has recently suffered a stroke, and last I heard he was in the hospital recovering. I haven't heard anything positive or negative on his current state since that, but hopefully he bounces back because he does a lot of great work. This is actually published by Hadean Press. Here. Pandemonium is truly a first of its kind, a necessity for the further development of traditional magic in a modern context. While not intended to be the last word, it opens up territory that demands further examination. It starts with the first English translation of a major spirit catalog and ends with an appendix redefining quote-unquote traditional grimoirists. Well, there we go. I guess if grimoirist is a word, then grimoire it can be too. Sandwiched between these is a comparative survey of several important spirit catalogs, which is much more than a dictionary of demons, totally geared to emergent practice, leading us away from the prevalent focus on tools and rules, authors and manuscripts, towards the developing relationships with these dramatis personae, essential to the whole tradition. Excellent. Oh, we have a beautiful silver cloth binding here. It's got that. It's like that waxy, slick, waxy feeling that I enjoy so much. If you've seen some of my previous videos, I tend to really like that waxy covering. I'm not sure what it's called. It's not quite cloth, but it's, well, I guess it's not cloth at all. It's kind of a wax coated paper, but I still enjoy it. I think it's nice to the touch. This one was also published in, oh wow, this was first published in 2016 by Hadean Press. I thought this was a new one, but apparently not. It is still available new. They also have a paperback edition. I got this new off Amazon. Awesome. He's got a quote here from Peter Gray from Lucifer Princeps. Lucifer Princeps. Princeps? Students of the Grimoires will be aware of the fluid, apparently arbitrary way in which the hierarchies come down to us. You know, he is supposed to, Lucifer Princeps come out quite a few years ago. He is supposed to be coming out with volume 2 of that series any day now. You can get a shot of the table of contents here. Again, we just have a this book contains an index, which is always handy, a bibliography, a couple of appendixes. Oh, nice. Yeah, this is more what I've had in mind when I was flipping through the other book. You have it broken down by spirit and their sigils, pictures, I'm sure a lot of these are Grimoire or Goetic spirits. Haven't done a huge amount of Goetic work. I recognize Asmodee. So yeah, not sure which of these guys are in the Goetia and which ones are not. Nice. I know Bune is. And Belial. And of course Paimon. Wasn't he in a movie? Wasn't there a horror movie about that had Paimon in it? Again, if you're into any kind of grimoire work or excuse me, evocation, spirit work, definitely Jake Stratton Kent is Jake Stratton Kent and Dr. Skinner are two of the eminent experts in the field. This is a really neat little book. You want to work with a particular spirit, just look them up. This is funny. Bale, if Foolish Fish just made a video here recently, relatively recently, where him and his family took a trip to Greece and they went and explored this cave in Greece. And his son, he is autistic, so he was afraid his son wouldn't want to go into the cave, but he gladly took off into the cave and went into a little ways and stopped and said, I don't want to go any further. There's a monster back in the corner there. And Foolish Fish said, oh yeah, really? So what does it look like? So he took a stick and drew in the soft floor of the cave. And he says it has 3 heads, and one of them looks like a cat, and then one of them looks like a frog, and it has spider legs, or something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing. If you're interested, definitely go watch the video. And it was definitely. He said his son knows nothing of Goetic demons or grimoires, but he pretty accurately described Bale that he saw hiding back in the shadows of the cave, and they decided not to go any further at that point, and went out and got ice cream. But if you don't watch Foolish Fish, definitely go check his channels out. He does a lot of book reviews. He does a lot of more in-depth book reviews than I do. I like to do unboxings and show off new stuff, to where he likes to go into a lot more in depth and review the contents. But he doesn't do unboxings. I do unboxings, and he reviews mostly stuff that's new or relatively new or in print. So on that note, we'll skip ahead to our next offering here. As always, I have the Ginsu 93-418. We have another one here that is extremely well packaged. Let's just try to cut it free from its bindings here. Wow. So that's level 1. There's level 2. Here is Level 3. I have a pretty good idea of what this is. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know what I'm unboxing on each video, so it's nothing is a total surprise. Sometimes I'm just not 100% sure what is in what box I'm opening. I try to stage them up so we go from new to old or less rare to rare as I'm unboxing things to save the better stuff for last. But sometimes I'm always not 100% sure exactly what's coming up, but in this case we have the Magister Officiorum by Julio Cesar Odi, Scarlet Imprint. I've been collecting Scarlet Imprint books pretty much since they got started. It wasn't, they weren't around maybe a couple of years before I discovered them back, what, for 15 years or so ago when I started collecting Scarlet Imprint books. And happy to say that I do have most of the things that they have published. I don't want to show too much information here. Okay, not bad. I did buy this secondhand. The Magister Officiorum. With the Magister Officiorum, Odi has produced an essential text for those who want to practice Solomonic magic. The result of patient and extensive magical work, this is a record of attainment informed by the Western magical tradition, Espiritismo, and Obe. The subjects covered in this study include the place of evocation, the magical circle, and the book, the ritual tools and regalia, including the black-handled knife, the brazen vessel, robes, the pentagonal and hexagonal figures, also addressed as the ritual purity and necessity of authority and the art of commanding spirits. So I do have quite a few Scarlet Imprint books. Always happy to have a new Scarlet Imprint book. This was published in 2019. 2018. Let me get a picture of the book itself. It is bound in black cloth with a embossed golden dagger as on the dust jacket. I'm always happy to get a new Scarlet Imprint book that I don't have. List of illustrations here. I think this comes from the cult store. It definitely has a slight odor of incense to it. Nag Champa or Patchouli 1. Well, for a Scarlet Imprint book, I am not... Okay, published in 2018 in 3 editions comprising 900 copies of black cloth, 72 slipcase copies hardbound in quarter vellum, and an unlimited paperback. So if it was limited to 900, I don't see that this is a signed edition, or not a signed, but not a numbered edition, which is rare. But I think I do have a couple of Scarlet Imprint books that are limited editions that are not numbered. It's a small book. The definitely has a nice thick paper here. Excellent. Excellent. Nice thick paper. Yeah, this looks like a little short handbook on being set up for evocation. Beautiful. Beautiful. Love it. Love it. Nice. Okay. On to the next one. This is all the way from the UK. I like the little thank you sticker here holding the bubble wrap on. Oh, gorgeous. And here we have Goetic Evocation by Steve. I've heard this pronounced, I've always pronounced it Savedow. I've heard it pronounced Savado. So, Steve, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but Savado, if you see this video, let me know. It's also by Hadean Press. This was published as a paperback in the probably early to mid 2000s, I believe. I've had a copy of this in paperback for a long time. And there's also a second volume to this that I also have in paperback. This was recently republished in a limited edition hardback here, which I was lucky enough to snag a copy of because it did sell out very quick. 96. It was originally published in 96. This edition is from 2002. First published as Goetic Evocation, The Magician's Workbook, Volume 2. Yeah, so there was a Volume 1 and Volume 2. A little view of the shot there. Illustration of the back cover of Equinox 6 number 4 first edition ad for the Goetia. And we have a copy of the table of contents. Some little residue on it here. This is not, or doesn't appear to be a numbered edition. I did buy a copy of this from the publisher, Hadean Press. And it does not appear to be signed or numbered, although I am pretty sure it was a limited edition and it is currently sold out and out of print, but I could be mistaken. If you are interested, by all means see if you can get a copy still. I know the paperback is long out of print and goes for quite a little bit of money if you can find a copy, but this is definitely a book on working with the Goetia. From the forward to the new edition here. When this book was first published in the mid-90s, there was virtually no other text exclusively dedicated to the traditional practice of the Goetia. It is a pleasure to have this book republished after being out of print for more than 15 years. We are keeping it virtually identical to the original, except for a few minor revisions to the text, and many of the diagrams and tables have been reformatted. When it was first written, which was well before the internet became so popular, there was very little material available for reference, which I detail in Chapter 3. Most notable was the original S.L. McGregor Mather's transcription of Goetia, the Lesser Key of Solomon the King, often mistakenly described as a translation and attributed to Aleister Crowley, and the De Lawrence edition, which was available to the general public for much of the 20th century. Nice. Nice. I'm always happy to have a beautiful, more of this white residue stuff here. Beautiful, beautiful red copying cloth here. Always glad to have another copy. It's a little hefty little book here. It's a little over 263 pages, if you're interested. Then we have Goetic Evocation by Steve Sabato. And more here. We have I believe this one was from Germany. This is what we have here is from Germany. It's a hefty little book. This is Scarlet Imprint. We have their sticker here. They're wrapped in tissue paper. This is actually a reprint of a book that I had mentioned earlier. Nice. Check that out. That doesn't quite show up so well on the camera, but that is a beautiful green foil butterfly bookmark. And here we have Scarlet Imprint's reprinting of the True Grimoire, Encyclopedia Goetica Volume 1 by Jake Stratton Kent. Has this beautiful skull and bone laying on top of a book on the cover here. I am lucky enough to possess a first edition of the True Grimoire. I do have a first edition set of the complete all 5 volumes of the Encyclopedia Goetica. But they were reprinting this, and you know me, I had to have a copy. It also has a ribbon. This was published in 2022. A reconstruction of the Grimorium Verum with commentary and notes. It's This was originally published in 2009. This is available. This is one, if it's the hardback are sold out, this is available in paperback. There is an unlimited paperback edition of this. If you're interested and aren't lucky enough to have gotten a copy of the True Grimoire. Preface to the second edition here. If you're interested at all, please go buy a copy. It's I wholeheartedly would encourage you to support Jake, especially now in this time of need, seeing as he is recovering from a stroke. We have a Prayer of the Salamanders here inserted in the bag. Interesting. Interesting. That's beautiful. I love Scarlet Imprint. They always find something nice to do with their limited editions. Second edition of True Grimoire was published by Scarlet Imprint in 2022 in a strictly limited edition of 72 books hand-bound in Bron Green's goatskin and 1,200 exemplars bound in black cloth, of which I am lucky enough to have number 132. Awesome. Awesome. Again, this is really thick, heavy bound paper. Got a bunch of sigils here. Again, if you're interested in grimoires and evocations and grimoire work, Jake Stratton Kent is a guy to go to. Him and Dr. David Skinner. I mean, I can't. Stephen Skinner. I don't know why I keep wanting to call him David. Dr. Stephen Skinner and Jake Stratton Kent are probably the two most preeminent living scholars of Goetic and Solomonic magic right now. Living. Beautiful book. Love these blood-ridden papers. And this little Prayer of the Salamanders inserted here in the back. And it is a numbered edition. I will be sticking my bookmark in there. And again, if you're looking for a copy of this, and it's if this edition is sold out, they do. Scarlet Imprint is doing concurrent releases of all their stuff in paperback now, so surely you can get a paperback copy. From my understanding, they are planning on republishing the complete 5 volumes of the Encyclopedia Goetica in a reprint edition, second editions, due to demand. I know the original Encyclopedia Goetica has been sold out for quite a number of years, and when you do see a set come up, the complete sets are quite expensive. So, beautiful book. So, let's wrap up the video tonight. We've got the True Grimoire with Jake Stratton Kent, Goetic Evocation by Steve Sabato, the Magister Officiorum by Julio Cesar Ode. This is also a Scarlet Imprint book. Pandemonium by Jake Stratton Kent, and the Stellas Daemonum, The Order of Daemons by David Crowhurst. All in all, even though a couple of these are new, well, 3 of these are new, 4 of them are new actually. This one's a little bit older. This was new. I don't know if this is still available. This is new. It is available in paperback if it's not in hardback. These 2 are relatively new. This is a few years old, but it is still in print and available, and this just came out last year. I've got 5 beautiful, amazing hardback books here on demons, devils, and Goetic evocations. Very, very happy to add these to the library. Beautiful, beautiful books. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you glad you stayed to the end and to watch to the end. And if and always feel free to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'm planning to be back with you next week with another video with some Aleister Crowley books. It's going to be Aleister Crowley, author and poet. So we're going to get into some of his fiction and some of his poetry. A little off the beaten path for what most people think about when they think of Crowley, but definitely tune in. Keep an eye on the channel. Hopefully you're gonna get back on the wagon here and start putting videos out. I know I kind of take extended breaks here and there unannounced sometimes, but you know, I always try to come back to it when I'm able. I appreciate your views, and on that note, love is the law, love under will. Until next time.